Hello students, welcome to the second video that is on this chapter, that is brakes, wheels and tires for the two-wheelers. In the previous video we saw about the different types of brakes that is being used in the two-wheelers or in any other vehicles. As I have already told you, there are mainly two types of brakes. One is the drum brakes and the second one is the disc brake. To operate them, we use different methods such as the mechanical method, hydraulic method, pneumatic method. Mostly in the two-wheelers, we use an hydraulic braking system. So in that case, when we operate our brakes with either hand or either foot, the hydraulic actuation will work, and that hydraulic actuation will operate our wheel cylinder in case of the drum brakes and caliper pistons in case of the disc brake. So how these things operates in different conditions? There are different types to operate the brakes. The types to control the systems of the brakes. The first type is the hand operated mechanical brake. In that we are not using the hydraulic system, we are using the mechanical system. You can see the components which are being used to operate the brake with the mechanical system. In that you can see from the hand lever you have connected with our cable, which is a flexible type of the cable. From that the cable is connected with our arrangement of the brakes. In the arrangement you can see the camshaft is connected with a lever of the brake, which is further connected with our cable, which is connected with our hand lever. When we operate the hand lever, the operation of the lever will be done with the help of the flexible cable which is being connected with our system. So in this case you can see easily when we operate the hand lever, the lever will operate which is being connected with our camshaft, and that camshaft will operate our two shoes which has been connected with our drum brake. So this is simply how this system works. The second type is used in that the system is the foot operated mechanical brake. In this also the control system is again mechanical, but in this the brakes are operated with our foot, which has been generally the case in case of the motorcycles. Right, so in this diagram you can see when we apply the pressure on the foot brake, the foot lever will be operated with connection of the fulcrum which is being connected with our foot lever. With the foot lever fulcrum we have connected a rod which is a solid type of rod. That solid type of rod again is connected in the same manner that we saw in the earlier case, is that it is connected with a lever which is further connected with our camshaft. That camshaft operates our swing arm pivot which is connected with our plate of the drum brakes or the shoes of the drum brakes. So when we operate the brakes by applying the foot pressure on the foot pedal which is being attached in case of the control system, that operates further the solid rod. That solid rod operates the spring which is being connected with our adjuster nut. That spring provides the further force to the lever which is connected with our brake, and that lever operates the camshaft which further operates our swing arm, and the brakes or the shoes gets expanded in case of the drum of the internal expanding brake. So this is how the two mechanical brakes can work, either by the help of the hand or by the help of the foot, whichever is given in the vehicle. Next is the hand operated hydraulic brake. Now in this case the hand lever is connected with a hydraulic system to operate the brakes. So there is a very important component whenever we talk about the hydraulic brake, which is a master cylinder. The function of the master cylinder is to provide the pressure to the hydraulic fluid which is being used in the case of the braking system, and that pressurized hydraulic fluid will be further supplied by the help of the master cylinder. So master cylinder is connected with our hand lever. With that the brake lines will go further and it will be connected with our caliper piston in case of the disc brake. In this, we have shown you the disc brake which is connected with our hydraulic system and which is further been operated with the help of the hand lever. The fourth type is the foot operated hydraulic brake. In this case, same again, the master cylinder will be connected with our foot lever. The function of the master cylinder is to supply the fluid by pressurizing it. That master cylinder provides the high pressure fluid with the help of the brake linings, and that brake linings again will be connected with our caliper system, which is being used in case of the disc brake. So this is simply how the brake control systems works in case of the brakes of the two-wheelers, for the disc brake as well as the drum brakes. The component which we saw about master cylinder, let's see one brief explanation how that master cylinder actually works. Right, so this is the schematic diagram of the master cylinder, in which you can see number of components for the master cylinder, in which the main one is the reservoir, in which our oil is kept in the field position. There are two pods which are being given in case of the master cylinder, which is at the utmost importance. The first one is the intake pod and the second one is the compensating pod, or we can also say it as the bypass pod. Right, if you can remember, we have already studied this in the basics of automotive system, but again let's understand it how this simply works. So the operation is connected towards the left side of the master cylinder. So towards the left side our lever is provided. When we push the lever, the force is applied to the piston in the rightward direction. As you can see, the force is provided in the rightward direction towards the spring side. Right, the piston will move towards the spring side. So in the normal position, the intake pod is in the closed manner. Right, when we push the piston, the spring will compress. Also the oil which is being filled between that space will be pressurized. Right, because piston is going inside, so volume will decrease between them and the fluid will pressurize. Because of that, the high pressure will be created in the fuel and the check valve will open because of the pressure which is being generated in the oil. That pressurized oil is further transmitted to our brake lines, which is being connected further to the check valve. What happens during the retraction is that when we release our brake lever, the retraction springs takes the piston back to its original position instantaneously. But the fluid which went into the brake lines does not come instantaneously back to its original space. So to save the time, and if the oil is not coming back, so during that time the air can come into the system. If air is in the system, the air bubbles will be created, and which is a compressible property. So because of that, the efficiency of our brakes will reduce. So to reduce that effect, what we do is that we supply the oil from the intake pod during the retraction. So when the oil which went into the brake line comes back, it goes directly back into the reservoir via a compensating port. Right. So this is how the simply master cylinder works in case of the two-wheelers. Last thing is the ABS for the two-wheelers. We are always familiar with the ABS, that is anti-lock braking system in the case of the four-wheelers. The same way in the case of the two-wheelers. Right now you can see the demo which the vehicle is being used without the ABS. So when we use without the ABS and when we apply the brake suddenly, the wheel starts skidding because the wheel gets locked. In case of the motorcycle with the ABS, you can see easily that when we apply the brakes, it gets stopped in the steady way. Vehicle does not move left right, it does not skid, and vehicle does get steady at one place. Right. This is the main function of the ABS, to provide the stability even during the braking. Right. so it reduces the accidents, right? These are the components that is used with the ABS system in case of the two-wheelers. The first one is the wheel speed sensor, which will be connected with our tone wheel, which operates our braking system. Also, the same will be used for the other end of the vehicle as well. This is for the front wheel, and the second one was the rear wheel. So one wheel speed sensor for the front side, second one for the rear side. This are the main components. One ABS modulator which connects these wheel speed sensors. This system simply works in a normal manner with the ECU, which you can see the module which we use about the ABS. When we apply the brakes in case of the ABS, the brakes is applied in case of the vibrationary manner. When we apply the brake is applied, so that in that case the wheel gets locked. From the sensor of the wheel speed, we will see that wheel has locked. So what ABS will do is that for that instant the brake will be released. So wheel will again start rotating. At the same moment, the brake will again be applied. So in this repetitive cycle, the brakes will be applied, released. So in that case, what will happen is that brake will not lock our wheel and will operate our vehicle in a very smooth manner. Right. So this is how simply the ABS for the two-wheelers works as well. Let's see the components which is being used in case of the ABS. There are a number of components which are used. The normal system of the brakes will be there, with the addition the wheel speed sensor that we saw, also the hydraulic unit, and we will use an ABS modulator which will be connected with our hydraulic brakes on both the ends. Right. So these are the normal components for the hydraulic braking system with the ABS. Right. So in this video we saw about the brake control systems and also about the ABS for the two-wheelers. In the next video we will see about the wheels and tires of the two-wheelers. Until then, thank you so much.